You are about to meet a man who just celebrated a major milestone. It wasn't just his 84th birthday, it was something a little more patriotic. Our Aaron Hazanzada went to his Plymouth home to hear the whole story.
You make parts.
Rudy Mueller has enough stories to fill a novel.
I played the saxophone, never really very good.
And enough cool stuff to fill a truck.
It says, we really had a lot of fun last night.
But one recent moment in particular made it all feel complete.
He told me he wanted to be a citizen, so I said, good, I'll do the paperwork.
Before we go there, we start here.
There you are.
Yeah, that's me.
Born in Nazi Germany in 1938.
In Munich.
Rudy grew up aware but unafraid of the war around him.
They would bring down flares. When they always said, Mom, look, there's a Christmas trees.
He eventually learned machinery work and left for Canada, for no good reason, he says.
What were you looking for when you left Germany to go to Canada? I mean, what do you think you were searching for at that time in your life?
Nothing much of anything. Nothing in particular, no.
Yeah.
I was just, well, the wind goes here.
When work dried up, he headed south and got a green card.
He says, you go on a Greyhound and you go to Minneapolis. Never heard of it.
Then he was drafted and served 2 years in the U.S. Army.
1963, 23 and a half.
Of course, stationed in Germany.
That was the first time back. Here I come to Munich in my American outfit.
Eventually, he met his wife, Jane.
Lucky guy, a really lucky guy.
Raised 2 children, started a company, but never became a U.S. citizen.
Did you think about it, or you didn't?
I never thought about it.
That is, until a few weeks ago.
All of a sudden she says, you passed.
When he became an American citizen, not just in his heart, but on paper.
It's great. I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I belong.
Aaron Hazanzada, CBS News, Plymouth, Minnesota.
Now, 2 dads are turning to music to make sense of the world. What started as a pandemic project to do some good is now getting A-list attention. Here's a look at their story. Two dads jamming out at an Eden Prairie picnic table. This is where the magic happened.
Yes. Yes.
But before the magic came, the sadness did. The pandemic shut the world down, and George Floyd was murdered. Tom Fugelberg of Savage struggled to explain the world to his kids.
And for me, it was like, no, optimism has to go on the offense here. You know, we need to do something here to put a little bit of hope, a little bit of heart into the house.
He found himself drawn to a hobby he had long abandoned, making music.
There was something kind of telling me inside that I think this is something to pursue. And I said, I know who to call.
It was a fellow advertising exec who was in the band Rocket Club, also a father feeling the weight of the world.
When he asked if I'd help him, it wasn't even a second thought, of course.
They started working with a local producer, Matt Kirkwall, and things took off. Tommy Barbarella, Prince's bandmate, started recording their instrumentals. An engineer for Paul McCartney and Taylor Swift hopped on. Now, their songs of inspiration are being produced and recorded in Nashville.
Please, don't lie to me.
When you have some work that others like and has meaning to it other than trying to get clicks and downloads, yeah, it feels good.
Proof hope is alive and dreams do come true.
I don't know where it goes, but our hope is to put as much music out there that does as much good as it can.
This next story you have to see. It is one of the most awe-inspiring natural phenomena, and it's possible you were even lucky enough to see it over Labor Day weekend. The Northern Lights were on full display across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Kirsten Mitchell caught up with some of the photographers who captured the beauty.
If the photos don't take your breath away, imagine being there.
This weekend was by far the best I've ever been able to see them.
Photographer Reese Hickman stayed up until 4 a.m. Sunday to capture the Northern Lights from the North Shore.
But it was worth it.
Yes.
Both Reese from Duluth and Rod Backinen from Lake Hubert have an app that alerts them when the viewing is good. But what causes the colors of light to dance across the sky?
So northern lights are this really cool phenomenon where you've got these electrically charged particles that are slamming into our upper atmosphere, and our magnetic field redirects those particles to the poles. And that process is why we see those beautiful lights overhead.
It's best seen in dark, clear skies. Tanner Charles captured this just 45 minutes from the Twin Cities.
Always a sense of awe, like just a sense of awe and fascination, especially when they're dancing and they're super bright.
Photographing it can be as easy as using an iPhone or as advanced as using a fancy camera.
So you need a sturdy tripod, you need to be able to get a good focus.
The Northern Lights have many spiritual and cultural meanings.
What was that experience like for you?
It felt very magical. So it was just really fun to be able to sit, listen to the waves crash against the rocks, and then just being able to watch the auroras over the cliffs.
It's kind of moving in a way that you're able to see such a spectacular thing and not have to travel to Iceland to see it.
Kirsten Mitchell, WCCO 4 News.
Coming up, this grandmother isn't afraid of anything. See why she celebrated her 91st birthday with a sky-high adventure.